There's no question that Christopher Nolan is a smart director. He successfully managed to mass market an extremely intellectual, conceptual filmmaking style while encountering both critical and commercial success. Nolan is also credited with revamping the Batman franchise, breathing new life into superhero movie tropes. Despite being enormously successful and widely popular, Nolan is no stranger to criticism. This video will attempt to unravel some of the challenges and limitations of Nolan's approach that may have contributed to this mixed reception.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
The first challenge is the film's lack of polyphony. The term polyphony was adapted from music to literature by Russian theorist Mikhail Bakhtin and indicates the presence of a diversity of views and perspectives within a narrative.
It has to be a prestige. Exactly.
While Nolan's films present plenty of situational conflict, all his characters seem to be an extension of the same person. The characters are all wicked smart, all speak like a printed book, and are all dead set on pursuing their goals.
This was your responsibility! You were meant to check Fisher's background thoroughly. We are not prepared for this type of violence!
There is no real disparity in the way they speak and think, as they all stem from the same character prototype. This applies to both incredibly clever lines like,
"Your compassion is a weakness your enemies will not share."
That's why it's so important. It separates us from them.
to insufferable ones like,
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
To find an example of polyphony in Christopher Nolan, we have to look at this line from Insomnia.
What has two thumbs and loves blowjobs?
I don't know.
This guy.
This crass joke says so much about the character, particularly by distancing him from the Al Pacino, Robin Williams, and Hilary Swank characters, who are all super driven and focused and would never utter such a sentence.
You don't get to pick when you tell the truth. The truth is beyond that.
Interestingly enough, Insomnia is the only film Nolan did not write. Another challenge is the excess of realism, especially noticeable in the Batman franchise. This was understandably devised as an antidote to the campy style of Joel Schumacher's previous installments, and in order to create more realistic characters and themes. The downside to this is the complete dismantlement of the nocturnal fantasy world Tim Burton had created.
I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
In favor of realer-than-real daytime atmospheres and locations. This translates to limited use of CGI, to the cinematography, Wally Pfister's photography is anything but evocative, to actually filming and even mentioning real cities.
Welcome to Hong Kong, Mr. Fox.
While Batman Begins attempts to preserve the fantasy look and nocturnal landscapes to some extent, the later films seem to do this less and less. Another consequence of this paradigm shift is that the secret identity theme is heavily underplayed in Nolan's films.
You can't do that.
Neither can I.
In sharp contrast to Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns, by the end of the trilogy there are far more characters who are aware of Bruce Wayne's secret identity than those who are not.
At least tell me your name.
Not only does this kill any tension between the characters, it also undermines polyphony by putting them all on the same page.
Bruce?
Finally, a word about humor.
Where are your drugs going?
Why are you talking like that?
It's a bad voice. It's a bad.
It's not scary, it's silly.
Without reaching the almost self-derogatory levels of directors like Robert Rodriguez or James Gunn, even Nolan could benefit from a little comic relief.
Why so serious?
Although his films are not completely joke-free,
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
these moments of comedy are quite sparse and overshadowed by the ominous tone, as if Nolan feared they'd detract from the validity of the message the films are trying to convey. This lack of humor is even more evident in Nolan's non-Batman films, which, since the success of The Dark Knight, have become unnecessarily convoluted and self-serious.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
No one could possibly question the intelligence of Christopher Nolan as a filmmaker. However, I believe that the best directors are able to deliver a powerful message through a humor-filled, polyphonic story and avoid making the audience feel lost in the process. Thanks for watching.